If you've ever raised your voice at your child and felt guilty about it 5 minutes later, this video is for you. Because there's a country where parents almost never yell, where kids as young as 4 years old listen, cooperate, and rarely, if ever, talk back. And the strangest part, these parents don't use punishment, they don't use reward charts, they don't even raise their voice. That country is Japan. What they do differently isn't complicated, it isn't expensive, you won't find it in any Western parenting book. Before we get into what Japanese parents do, we need to understand what most Western parents do without realizing it. When a child misbehaves, the typical response is immediate: a raised voice, a threat, a consequence delivered in the heat of the moment. And it works in the short term, the child stops, the behavior pauses. But something else happens underneath. The child learns that conflict is loud, that emotions are weapons, and that the way to get a reaction from someone is to push back harder. Over time, this creates a cycle. The parent reacts, the child escalates, the parent reacts louder, and talking back becomes the child's only tool for being heard. Japanese parenting breaks this cycle before it ever starts. In Japan, there is a word that has no direct English translation. That word is Amae. It roughly means the feeling of being completely safe in someone's presence, of knowing that no matter what you do, you will not be abandoned, you will not be shamed, you will still be loved. Western parenting often ties love to behavior: be good and things are warm, misbehave and things get cold. Japanese parenting does the opposite. The love is unconditional and visible, always. The correction is quiet and consistent, always. When a child deeply feels Amae, that complete security, they don't need to fight for attention, they don't need to test boundaries loudly, they don't need to talk back. Because they already know where they stand. Here is the most counterintuitive thing Japanese parents do. When a child acts out, they don't react. Not with anger, not with a lecture, not even with a long explanation. They wait. This comes from a deeply held cultural belief that the child already knows on some level that what they did was wrong. The parent's job is not to tell them. The parent's job is to give the child space to feel that themselves. In practice, this looks like a parent who goes quiet, who removes themselves from the immediate tension, who comes back later calmly and addresses the behavior with very few words. Japanese parents tend to use short, direct phrases rather than long explanations. Not "I told you 100 times that when you do that it makes me feel," but simply, "that was not kind." 3 words said once, calmly. And then it's done. The child is not lectured into submission, they are trusted to process. And over time, that trust builds a child who self-corrects. This isn't just happening at home. In Japanese schools, children as young as 6 are given responsibilities that would surprise most Western parents. They serve their own lunch, they clean their own classrooms, they resolve minor conflicts without teacher intervention. This is called soji, the daily cleaning ritual, and toben, the rotation of classroom duties. The message these systems send is powerful and consistent. You are responsible for your environment. Your behavior has real consequences, not punishments handed down from above, but natural outcomes that affect everyone around you. When a child grows up inside this system, at home and at school, talking back doesn't just feel wrong, it feels out of place, because the entire culture around them reflects the same values. So what does this actually look like in practice? Here are 4 daily habits that make the biggest difference. Number 1, they apologize to their children. When a Japanese parent makes a mistake, they say sorry, directly and genuinely. This teaches the child that accountability is not weakness, and it models exactly the behavior they want to see returned. Number 2, they narrate feelings instead of judging behavior. Instead of "stop being so dramatic," a Japanese parent might say, "You seem really frustrated right now." The child feels seen instead of shut down. And a child who feels seen has no reason to escalate. Number 3, they use silence as communication. Silence in Japanese culture carries weight. A disappointed silence from a Japanese parent is understood immediately by the child without a single word being shouted. The child fills the silence with their own reflection. Number 4, they never shame a child publicly. Correction happens privately, quietly, and without an audience. A child who is never humiliated in front of others never develops the defensive anger that leads to talking back. None of this requires a perfect home. None of this requires a different culture or a different country. What it requires is a shift, a small but profound shift in what you believe your child is capable of. Japanese parents believe their children are capable of self-correction, capable of empathy, capable of calm. And because they believe it, they treat their children as if it's already true. That's not a parenting technique, that's a parenting identity. And the children grow into it. If this video gave you something to think about, even one small thing you want to try differently starting tomorrow, then it did exactly what it was supposed to.